But right now, the Democrats have raised an objection with the DHS funding bill. Now, the ironic thing about that, obviously, is that the DHS funding bill actually, if enacted, would spend less on ICE and some of the other things that Democrats are concerned about than would a continuing resolution, which would be a bill to fund the government for the full year at current spending levels. So it spends less on ICE. It also has important reforms that Democrats have requested, including body cameras, about $20 million in there for that, a couple $1 million in.
Democrats have said that they wanted. And of course, the DHS bill not only funds ICE and Border Patrol, but it also funds FEMA and TSA and the Coast Guard and CISA, which deals with cybersecurity for the country. So a lot of pretty important stuff. So those are all things that are included in the DHS funding bill, as negotiated by Democrats and Republicans, both House and Senate, and voted and passed by the House last week with 341 votes in the House. Almost 80% of the House of Representatives voted for the package that we have available to vote on here in the Senate this week. That being said, the Democrats have objected, and so we're anxious to hear what their demands are, what their requests are, what their asks are. I think the administration is willing to sit down with them and have a discussion, perhaps a negotiation about how do we move forward. But the one thing I do know, and that is that a government shutdown is not in anybody's interest. And whether it's a partial one or a 6-bill one or a 1-bill one, but even shutting down DHS, as I said before, while it doesn't really affect ICE because that got funded last year in the One Big Beautiful Bill, it would affect funding for some really important agencies of government that the American people rely on, like FEMA, particularly at a time when we've got a lot of weather-related disasters making their way across the country.